Here is a story for one of the children's classes. The father of the Bob passed away when he was a small child, and he was raised by his uncle, who placed him in a school around the age of 5. The Bob, of course, was endowed by God with innate knowledge, and he did not need to be instructed by any man. But he obeyed his uncle's wishes and attended a school with the other boys. He was told by his uncle, who had already noticed his extraordinary qualities, that while in class he should follow the examples set by his fellow students. Now, the schoolmaster was a man of great learning. He had taught the boys how to read and recite verses from the Quran, the holy book of Islam. One day, he asked the Bob to recite the opening words of the Quran. The Bob hesitated. He then replied that unless the schoolmaster tell him what the words mean, he would not attempt to recite them aloud. The schoolmaster pretended not to know their meanings, and so the Bob asked for permission to explain them. He then spoke with such knowledge and clarity that the schoolmaster was struck with amazement. Never before had he heard or read such an eloquent explanation of these words. And he immediately recognized the great capacity of the Bob and realized there was nothing he could teach him. He decided to take the Bob back to his uncle and tell him that he was unworthy to instruct so remarkable a child. He found the uncle alone in his office and said, "I have brought him back to you and commit him to your vigilant protection. He is not to be treated as a mere child." The uncle turned to the Bob and said, "Have you forgotten my instructions? Have I not already admonished you to follow the example of your fellow pupils, to observe silence, and to listen attentively to every word spoken by your teacher?" Promising to follow his uncle's wishes, the Bob returned to school. But do you think anything could stop the flow of his intuitive knowledge? Surely not. And day after day, his teacher was amazed by the signs of wisdom and greatness that were manifest in him.